Arrived at the Small Church Leadership Conference in Dallas, Texas. So I saved up money, I called relatives, I begged for their help to send me down here to this conference because it's a gathering of small church leaders, which means it's entrepreneurs, which means it's disciple makers, people who are on the ground floor doing the work on front lines, the best practitioners out there. So I'm here to learn as much as I possibly can and here to make new relationships in this network of small church leaders. Gonna go get checked in.
And it is great to have you here. Whether you are a self-supporting minister or a professional minister, whether you're just working in the staff, whatever you're doing, it is awesome for you to be here.
But I'm so excited for the insight that you're going to have here.
His truth is marching on.
Josh and Allie.
Hi, it's me, it's Josh, Mom.
Tri-Cities, awesome small church leaders. So this is Kyle Spears, and he's got Truth, Trauma, Theology YouTube channel. You guys gotta check it out.
The other way to save money at a conference, stay with other ministers. About to meet James, who split a room with me.
This is James, splitting the room, and that's awesome to help me afford the conference and help James out.
Best
James.
roommate right here, man. He's the number one. We're actually sharing a bed. No, I'm just kidding. Getting so much. I think just the fellowship has been amazing. I think, me personally, I work with a singles. I'm not necessarily a church leader, but I'm just getting so much out of it. Just kind of getting back to the basics. Last night I talked about prayer, worship. When you're kind of in the grind of things, it's easy to lose perspective, but it's really encouraging to see and hear other people's stories that they're in the fight as well, and it gives me faith that God can continue to work back in Tucson.
That's so true. It's relationships, other people fighting. Glory be to God. So this is Aaron and Carrie, who lead the church in Salem, Oregon, representing Oregon at the conference.
Hello.
Hi. Very fun place to live. We have some stable, strong married couples, and we could definitely we're here to try to lure and find ways for young folk to come to our area.
So I just got lunch with the Dallas campus couples. Koala Campus Ministry is larger than the Bend, Oregon church, so that's pretty awesome. And I was stalking them, and then they fed me pizza. So that's nice. It's pretty accurate. Accurate? Yeah, fairly accurate. So I finally found a few churches that are a little smaller than mine. There's a new region planting with 13 disciples, and over in Kentucky, another church planting 3 years ago that started with about 20 disciples, and now they're up to 25. And so it's encouraging to have other people right at the same level as the church in Bend. But now I'm on a quest for the Texas barbecue for dinner. Hopefully I can find a steak, because that's what Dallas is known for. That's what I've been looking forward to this whole trip. Hard 8 barbecue. That brisket is good.
Make sure you take your contacts out first.
Right, but I don't have time. Wait, what's the lowest amount that somebody would have to pay you to rub that in your eye?
Bro, 10 grand.
Like one eye. So
Yeah, one eye.
I gotta be able to see. It gotta be my bad eye. You might actually have to go to the
$1,000?
hospital. Like, you might actually have to go to the hospital.
What if it's a whole fundraiser? Do it for $10,000.
It was so good, really tasty. Oh yeah, the brisket just melted in my mouth. It was amazing.
I don't know, it's hard to rate, man. There's so many barbecue spots.
So what happened
in your room?
And I'll let him pick one of the decks. Well, which one do you want to pick?
This one.
Okay. Fan it out or pick the top card. You can fan it out and have him pick one, or you can pick the top card. Now, you can put it anywhere you want.
Okay. Do you want to
upwards to his card.
Oh, to his car?
Yeah.
Easy.
that it?
That's it. Yep.
That's it.
Come on, dog. There's like 1,000 variables.
This is Jason Andrew
Hey, how's it going?
over in Eugene right now, and OG in Eugene. Yeah, go Ducks. But back when I was born, around 94, Jason was helping with House Church in Eugene, getting students on campus and making disciples. So it's cool to hear about the foundation being laid down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome to be here and hang out as well.
So, day one of the conference was all about ministers' health, all about helping the church leader to have better Sabbath, better conflict resolution, better mental health in general. Day two is all about church growth. It's all about helping people to be inspired to be mission focused. So I'm super excited about that. It is a rare breed and need in our movement to go out and plant churches. And so I kind of started hanging out with the campus ministers because they're in charge of campus ministries that do have a smaller group of 20 or 30 people. That's kind of more the size of the Bend Church. And I love hanging out with them, talking about new strategies of how to make disciples because they're on the front lines.
One of the lessons I appreciated the most was talking about traditional church versus house church. How do you approach that network, that hybrid model? And that's exactly where we're at as the Bend Church, where we need to innovate, because we're larger than a living room, but we're smaller than a concert venue. And we need to figure out how to do that well.
House churches can only scale on one dimension, number of units. Never get very big. In house church, you end up with one or two of everything. So, in some ways, the house church leader has to be even more versatile in terms of ministry skills than the stage group leader. 16 house churches and 200 people. You could possibly be listening every Sunday to the 16th best preacher. Imagine in a church of 200 what the 16th best preacher would be like to listen to week after week. And our best speaker will only preach to 15 or 20 people a week, no matter what. That's a huge constraint. I also think it's a real possibility this could be a way forward. So the last question is, do we want to do church this way, or is this just how we do it until we don't have to? For some people, house church is like a hospital, right? When you need it, know where you want to stay any longer than necessary. To them, it's an unfortunate phase you find when you don't have enough people for rows, or not enough money to rent a place, or the church is so tiny, there's no way to put someone on staff. Hang in there, house church people. Help us on the way. We'll get you out of there and into a rented venue as soon as we can.
Come on.
But that's not what I'm talking about. Not house church is a pit stop. House church has the vehicle.
I'm Greg Campbell, and I serve as pastor of the Lexington Church in Lexington, Kentucky. And what I have loved about this conference is just the healing and the hope that it has brought just through talking about these really deeper issues, but also having a time to really reflect on God and Him being the answer, and us taking care of ourselves as ministers, but also the encouragement of just like, hey, we're not alone because we're all in this together, and just we all are, at these same places. And so it's been definitely a refreshing time.
My name is Rich Bartoli from Charleston, West Virginia, and probably the part that has been the most refreshing about this conference, to see young people like that with incredible faith stepping out to do really hard things because they love Jesus. To me, as an older minister, so refreshing. And so there's all the lessons, there's all that stuff, but people like Joey with that kind of faith, vision, toughness from a young age, dreaming for Jesus, fills my soul. So thanks, Joey.
Last day of the conference, and we get to worship with the entire Dallas church, or at least large sections of it. This is probably second largest or the largest church service I've been to in our disciple making movement. It's gonna be awesome.
Disciples in the airport.
Yes, we are.